ACC conference. And the dynasty, I feel like isn't even the right word, but they are. They have won 2017, 16, 19. The championships that Oklahoma has won, they haven't just captured them, they've won them. They were led by none other than KJ Kindler. She has 7 national championship titles, 18 NCAA individual champions. It has the highest score in NCAA history at a 198.95. And over to Kentucky, the one and only Tim Garrison has a phenomenal team, 12th on vault, 7 straight scores above 196.5, and Delaney Rodriguez, 10th in the NCAA in all-around. And I can't wait to talk about what they have really accomplished this season, because Kentucky started a little rocky, but they're here, and they didn't get here by chance. They are a fantastic team.
Getting hot at the right time. If you watched earlier today, you got the lay of the land for the double duel, but Bridget, inform us and dive into this 4-judge setup.
Well, you're going to see 6 athletes per team compete. Only 5 of those scores will go towards the team total, but the judging, you're going to have 4 judges. So you're going to drop the high, drop the low, and then average the remaining 2. That is the biggest difference. And the top 2 teams of today's session will go on to the finals.
Now, Rutgers had a strong performance in the opening round. They got by Central Michigan. Ohio State has had a roller coaster of a season, but Beam is one of their stronger apparatuses, as we see where each team will start. And the #1 team in NQS Oklahoma, they had the choice and will go in Olympic order, starting on vault as the sophomore Elizabeth Blessy leads the way. This is a vault routine for this Oklahoma team that has already seen 2 perfect 10s this season. And Bridget, as we set the stage, Oklahoma with a dominant 2024 season, but fell in the championship. Coach Kindler, she got her revenge last year with the national title hoisted for the 6th time in the last 9 years, as Blessy kicks off this raucous crowd here in Lexington.
Big vault here, front pike with a half. First stick of the night, and there will be more to come. Oklahoma athletes know the standard, they know the expectation, and it's things like this. Front pike with a half, little bend in her knees. We see it in slow-mo. The judges do not get to do that, so she is safe there, but that was a first stick of the night.
Moves us over to the hometown Cats as the junior Cecily Rizzo starts on bars. A team that was 39th in the NQS just a few months ago, now it's 16.
Really nice work so far. Cecily showing her calmness in this bar routine, hitting those handstands, double layout, tiny step forward, but a really solid start for Kentucky.
Oh, there is no doubt. Big Blue Nation excited, hosting for the first time in 15 years. Ohio State, one of 2 Big Ten teams here in this night session, as the sophomore All-Big Ten championship team a year ago in Riley Guevara.
This is one of Ohio State's better events, ranked 16th.
And we will enter in our first 2 box of the night as Donna Eulenberg on the right side. Is there familiarity a benefit that Rutgers was here yesterday?
It can be. The energy that I saw from Rutgers in warm-ups was high, and they really want to feed off that all day. It can be hard competing back-to-back days, but these are athletes that they want to be here. They want to win, and they are determined to get there. On your left side, Riley doing a really well-done job here in this leadoff position. Nice and steady dismount. Stuck, round off double twist.
Meanwhile, Blessy with a 9.925. Get used to seeing those 9.9s for Sooners.
Donna was fantastic in this leadoff yesterday, and this routine might actually be better than what she performed yesterday.
And a 9.825 in the opening round against CMU.
Nice extension, great height on those jumps. Rutgers off to a fantastic start on floor.
Sets up the Kansas native in Kira Wells, 5th in the nation here on vault. 9.75 for Rizzo over on bars.
Yurchenko 1.5 here. Small step forward. Oklahoma is known for sticking their vaults, but one thing that they really do well is controlling landings. Whether they take a step or not, they really have mastered that control. Really well done for Kira.
Over to the freshman Sabrina Nemchek, a 9.8 in the SECs just 2 weeks ago in Tulsa.
Sabrina working these bars, gorgeous cast handstand. Full twisting double back, and gets the stick. The crowd likes that one.
Well, we saw the advantage LSU had last night in front of their home crowd. As we see the freshman from Utah, Ava Jackson, in the 2 spot for Ohio State, as the Buckeyes finish 6th in the Big Ten championships. 48.9 here on beam, though, looking at getting to that 49 plus.
Ohio State is a relatively young team. Over 50% of their routines are done by freshmen or sophomore or transfers. So really a young, youthful group. Been exciting to coach. And that was a mistake from Ava, just couldn't stay on. That was a back handspring swing down. Really fought to stay on the beam, but ultimately had to put her foot down and stand up.
Wells with a 9.875 for Oklahoma, and the roar came in with Nemchek's score. We'll give you that in a moment, as the freshman Vivian Larson had a career high yesterday, 9.825 here on floor.
Strong finish for Ava, but that is going to be the routine that Ohio State is. They need to be able to drop that to stay in this. Vivian opens up with a double pike there.
And we bring in on the left side vault as Hannah Shively, the junior, comes off a 9.8 here on vault. It was the season low for Oklahoma overall in the SECs.
And another great vault, front pike with a half. I saw her work on that in warmups, and she was really dialing in, getting her chest up at the end. So really well done for Hannah, minimizing that deduction on the landing.
And the roar you heard earlier was the 9.9 for Nemchek.
Strong performance for Vivian. Rutgers on an event that really requires a lot of energy, in my opinion, and they are rocking and rolling over there.
See how that backs up after a 9.85 from Eulenberg. Another young team, just one senior competing on this opening routine for Rutgers, as we will work our way back to the bars. Another freshman, back-to-back newcomers here for Kentucky, and Gabby Van Freyen.
Beautiful release, toes pointed. Nice pack salto to the low bar. So far, this is a really strong routine for Gabby. Head coach Tim Garrison said, we went in the gym and worked on the details, and it is paying off. That is another stuck dismount for Kentucky.
I'm not sure there's a hotter team in the nation the last 3 weeks. We move over to beam where Cameron Smith tries to take advantage, and the pressure is on for the next 4 Buckeyes.
And Daniel, these are situations that they work on in practice. These pressure situations, you never want them to happen, but gymnastics, anything can happen, so it's good to understand. Pressure makes diamonds.
Now for each of the 4 rotations, you will count 5 of the 6 scores. So the name that is grayed out, we see Kira Wells in the top right, that is the lowest score. Ohio State trying to remove Ava Jackson's as we bring in Delaney Adrian. Back-to-back 9.85s for Rutgers on floor. It's a career high for Larson.
Cameron Smith, dismount, gets the stick. Coming after a fall, Cameron's job was to get them back into the swing of things.
Well, we really enjoyed the playlist yesterday for Rutgers. This might have been right around the time of the rotation that we started thinking, oh, this is gonna hang. As the SEC co-freshman of the year, Mackenzie Estep gets set. She had a perfect 10 in February.
Yurchenko, 1.5. Oh, the slightest shuffle of that left foot. We were able to see head coach KJ Kindler throw her hands up in excitement. She fought for that landing, just the tiniest step, but that is what they aim for. They don't just want perfection. That is the standard at Oklahoma. And Delaney Adrian really using that momentum, coming after Donna and Vivian, a pair of 9.85s.
Rutgers and their head coach, Anastasia Candia, they want it to be a party. They've even got a birthday girl, despite the injury. Vibes are high. Ginger Richards celebrating the birthday there with the tiara. As we move back, Kentucky. Back-to-back strong bar routines brings up the sophomore Chesney Bennett.
Really smooth transitions for Chesney. Aggressive on that cast handstand. All she needs is this dismount. Another great bar set for Kentucky. Head coach Tim Garrison has got to be proud of his team and all that they've accomplished this season. But where they are at tonight, they are on fire.
9.675 for Smith, so Ohio State will have to count that. Natalie Martin, junior from Ohio, here on beam.
When I watched Natalie warming up, she does beautiful gymnastics, but what really captivated me was the dance going in and out. Everything has a place. Quick finishes.
Meanwhile, a last-second change has put Elliott Goldsmith into the lineup. She did compete here yesterday. Showed off her moves on floor.
Dismount for Natalie. Small step on that landing, but overall strong finish.
$9.875 for Scheibele and Estep on vault.
Second pass for Elliott. Front full to front layout. Beautiful extension there. Final pass. Front 1.5, layout to straddle jump. Daniel, I think Rutgers is using yesterday's performance 100% as an advantage. These are better routines than what we saw yesterday.
And there's Coach Candia, excited for it. Meanwhile, over on vault, we get ready for Elle Miller. What Oklahoma does so well is when they step, they don't have big deductions here on vault.
Yurchenko 1.5 for Elle.
Yes, Coach Kindler. Not one routine all season under a 9.8 on vault. It is hard to believe for the #1 team in the land, as Kentucky has come out firing and Ryan Noonan ready on bars.
Big release right off the top. Down to the low bar. Smooth swings into this dismount. Fights for that landing and gets the stick.
Wow, and that comes off of a career high from Bennett. Kentucky certainly in the driver's seat through just a fraction. As we move back over to beam, one of the top gymnasts in the Big Ten, Tori Vetter, first team all-conference a season ago.
Handspring layout, step out for Tori. And on the right side of your screen for Rutgers, Gabrielle Dildy. We saw her compete yesterday, and she was not just fantastic, she was incredible.
A pair of first-team all-Big Ten gymnasts on your screen. Dildy had a 9.9 yesterday.
Tori really working the beam. Staying cool and calm. Dismount. Helping get the Buckeyes back on track. That was a big one. And Elliott Goldsmith, 9.9, setting up Gabrielle for a big score here. And she had a 9.9 yesterday on floor. Final pass, double pike. And another great routine for Rutgers.
Scarlet Knights have come to play as Miller with a 9.85 sets up the sophomore phenom in Addison Feda. She had a 9.925 in the national championships last year here on vault.
Yurchenko 1.5. She stuck 2 of those vaults in warm-up. Tiny hop on that landing.
And move over to the anchor on bars. The veteran leader on this Wildcat team, Delaney Rodriguez.
Really nice to catch it there. Pointed toes, legs extended. And a gorgeous double layout. And in the crowd, the legend herself, Jenny Hansen. 28 career perfect 10s.
Oh yeah, her name is up in the rafters here in historic Memorial Coliseum. Hansen just one of Big Blue Nation here tonight as Courtney McCann finishes this opening rotation for Ohio State. Dildy with a 9-9 again.
Round off layout for Courtney.
And on the right side of your screen, Emily Lease, who missed all of last season. A comeback campaign here in her senior year for Rutgers.
Emily opens up with a big E-pass here. Tuck full in. Gorgeous. And on your left screen, Courtney just the dismount here. This has been flawless. Small step on the landing. But that routine had to count for the Buckeyes.
Meanwhile, Rutgers has back-to-back 49-275s here their last two meets, but they are eyeing a higher score on floor here today. And a 9-9 for Feta finishes off the vault at a 49-4-5 for OU. A 9-8 for Rodriguez, as Kentucky just 0.07 of a point back of Rutgers in that 2 spot.
Final pass, front through to double tuck. Right now, Rutgers has 9-9, 9-9, and Emily Lease just did a fabulous floor routine. See what the judges do there.
Time for Leah Kamichek, who we saw here yesterday.
A sky-high, full twisting Yurchenko.
And so we have individual qualifiers through each rotation. We will see one on each routine as we move over to bars, and this is the show. Chloe Cho, who we see in all 4 Big Ten Newcomer of the Year last season, 2-time All-American.
Van Leeuwen back to the high bar. Floats through this routine, making it look way too easy. That was great.
We head over to Beam, where another Central Michigan Chippewa and an all-arounder in Lucy Alvarado-Reed, one of the most decorated student athletes in MAC history and a 2020 Olympian with Costa Rica.
Acro series off the top, straight to her finish.
Sets up the stage for the individualist on floor in Eden King. We'll see many Illinois fighting Illini here today as individualists.
Lucy yesterday had just a little tightness to her in her finishes. Didn't look like she was trusting herself. In this routine right there, one of her best. Nice extension for Eden in those leaps.
Cho with a 9-9. Here's her teammate on floor in King.
One and a half, front full, just doesn't have enough rotation. Ends up sitting that one down. An unfortunate mistake for her.
First rotation in the books. Couple career highs sent by a Kentucky Wildcat in Chesney Bennett, and the Rutgers with a strong floor routine led by Vivian Larson's career high and a few 9-9s. But Oklahoma doing what they do best. Mistake-free through the vault and a 49-4-5. Let's take a look at their top routine from the vault, and that was a 9-9-2-5 from Elizabeth Blessy to kickstart it.
In this leadoff, huge front pike with a half. Great distance. Team loves it.
We're joined now by the 7-time national champion coach, KJ Kindler. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. First question, with the amount of youth that you have, what was a message to some of the newcomers here at the postseason stage for the first time?
Honestly, we just need to relax, have fun, do our gymnastics, you know, not make the moment too big. So I think that was the main message. Just be you.
KJ, these athletes come into this program knowing the standard, knowing the expectation. What do you want to see going into bars, which is a fantastic event for you guys?
Honestly, I thought we had a great start. We have good momentum. I think, again, just like staying
The first for quite some time. As we look at the 9th-year head coach, Vasilovic, what are you looking for here on floor after a fall you saw on beam, bounce back decently, but now an opportunity to really showcase the skills?
Well, and this is an opportunity for Ohio State to really show who they are. They are a very young team. Over 50% of the routines that we will see tonight are competed by freshmen and sophomore or transfers. So very, very young, youthful team, but they have the talent. And it's been amazing to see them in the warm-ups and now getting ready to see them bounce back from beam. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be able to do it.
A look at the roster breakdown, 6th place finish at the Big Tens. Ohio State did reach the regional final in 2023, and they scored a 197.75, but did not advance to the championships. It was the highest score ever recorded in the Common Era without advancing out of the regional finals. So a chip on the shoulder of the Buckeyes. As the Scarlet Knights, they have already run the vault here in the Memorial Coliseum. That was yesterday. 49-1 set a season high as Lisa Chavert looks to set the stage. She had a career high yesterday, 9.825.
And the green flag goes up for Lisa. This is going to be a Yurchenko full, 995 start value. And a solid start. Really well done. Amplitude off the vault. The slightest pike down on her landing, but that minuscule hop is what really did it for me. Trying to make any type of mistake as small as possible, that was great.
And in the leadoff spot, no one puts more pressure on themselves than Lily Peterson, says Coach Kindler, and she will start on bars.
Really well on these handstands, feet glued together. Holds that cast handstand. Dismount, double layout. And that's the first stick for Oklahoma in this bar rotation, coming in at 4th. 4 bars. Typically they would be number 1, but that is just how good the NCAA is right now.
From one SEC team to the other, as Cecily Rizzo finds herself on the beam, looking to set the stage for the Wildcats. We'll bring in Riley Guevara on floor for OSU.
Cecily doing a nice job of being very calm. You want your leadoff to be cool and calm and almost a guaranteed hit. Talking to head coach Tim Garrison earlier today, he's been so impressed with his athletes climbing to where they are now. Beautiful full turn. One and a half twist. Small hop on the landing. Strong from start to finish for her.
And Bridget, it's a career high for Lily Peterson, 9.95 on bars. And another career high tying performance for Chavert on vault, so Rutgers gets off to a hot start.
Riley, front 1.5 to lay out, step out. Such a fun routine.
Over to the freshman Vivian Larson here on vault for Rutgers.
Vivian with another Yurchenko full. Pretty large hop backwards.
Ella Murphy makes her entrance into this 2026 regional, coming off of a career high 9.95 at SECs here.
Gorgeous cast handstand. Ella has been one of those freshmen that really just adjusted well into NCAA gymnastics, showcasing beautiful lines. Double tuck. Big smile at the end.
Oklahoma, who suffered their first loss of the season against Florida in the SECs.
Textbook technique there.
Brings up Kreslin Bros. Coming off the 9.8 from Rizzo.
Perfect front tuck there. Landed and stood straight up.
Brings in a floor routine here from Bailey Bellman as Guevara with a 9.9. Season high for the Buckeye.
Bailey on the right, really doing a great job performing this floor routine. Handspring front full, front layout. And Kreslin Bros on your left, finishing up that nice solid beam routine.
For the second straight meet, Ella Murphy has a career high of 9.95. You think Oklahoma took that vault run personally?
I think Oklahoma just has very high expectations for themselves, and they know they could do better, and they know that they can be great on the remaining 3 events. Unfortunate mistake for Bailey there, putting her hands down. That is equal to a fall, so that's a 5/10 deduction.
As Reagan Schenkel follows the 9.7 from Larson.
nice vault there. Souk tuck 1.5. Had a little trouble yesterday. Didn't quite get the momentum she needed to land straight. And today, had more than enough juice in the tank.
Meanwhile, Oklahoma has 3 perfect 10s this season, but none on bars, as Addison Feda has 1 on vault.
Gorgeous combination. Church to Pack. Addison, one of those athletes with international experience. Coaches like that one.
Got some smiles.
And this is a church, so her legs stay glued together, similar to a Ray, so the same entry, toe on, but that much harder keeping your legs together.
Couple 9/8s for Kentucky, as Sharon Lee here on beam.
Triple series. Just couldn't hang on to that one. Now this will be the score that Kentucky will need to drop, but the one thing that these teams, I hope that they know, because they put so much pressure on themselves, but tonight is not about being perfect. It is about being good enough to advance, no matter what that looks like. Of course, gymnasts are perfectionists, but Sharon Lee finishing up this beam routine.
Bellman with a 9-1. You mentioned that 5/10 deduction.
And a round off 1.5 for Sharon. So this is a triple series, handspring, layout, step out. And you saw that as soon as she did that second back handspring, something looked a little bit off, but those shoulders, as soon as they go sideways, it is hard to save.
And similarly to the first rotation, Ohio State, the pressure is on to bump out that 9-1. It's Cameron Smith on floor. And after Feda's 9-5 for Oklahoma, Schenkel with a 9-7-2-5. We bring up Rachel Riley on the left on vault.
10-0 start value here. Yurchenko 1.5, hop forward, but overall a strong vault. It's hard doing vault back-to-back days. These athletes, so mentally tough, but the physicality that it takes to compete 2 days in a row, it's hard.
I was talking to a couple of those Rutgers student athletes as well, and I asked, what did last night look like? And he said a lot of recovery and a lot of rest, not a lot of celebrating the first round win.
Cameron Smith, front pike to double tuck. Little lack of rotation there, is able to save it, stays on her feet. But you saw that step forward showing the judges. She didn't quite finish the flip.
A reminder, so many meets this season where you have all of your teammates right around you on floor, but not here in the postseason. You're stuck in the corner. Bit of an island out there on floor, and you could say the same about the other events as well, as Chesney Bennett had a career high in the first rotation on bars. Here she is on beam. Again, Kentucky needing to keep out that 9-1-5. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Eastep, top 25 in the nation on bars.
Another unfortunate mistake.
This really brings
Mackenzie Estep on your right, finishing a strong bar routine.
We send our wishes to Chesney Bennett down there as we move over to floor. Caitlin Grimes. And this cannot be easy, Bridget, having to kind of focus on tunnel vision, right, when you have something going on.
First tumbling pass for Caitlin, double pike, strong finish, right to that lunge. Combo 1.5 to lay out.
We are happy to report that Chesney is back up on the beam. Oh, what a scare.
Daniel, gymnastics can be the best sport, but it can also bite back sometimes, but these athletes are so tough. On your right, Caitlin finishing this floor routine. Strong performance coming after Cameron Smith's 9-7, still looking to get rid of that grade out. Bailey score 9.1. Chesney Bennett right here. Just was a little off. And I have to give her so much credit for her air awareness.
We have Gabby Dildy here on vault.
And that is another stuck Yurchenko goal. She stuck it yesterday, and I think that one was even better.
She had a 9-8 yesterday. That felt like more than a 9-8. As Bennett finishes her routine, and we move over to bars where Hannah Scheibele follows Estep's 9.85.
Line change. Beautiful Jaeger, arms extended on that catch. Dismount. And sticks that landing. Take another look at this dismount. Full twisting double back. What I love about Hannah is her ability to find the landings. In my opinion, she kind of held onto the bar a little long, but these athletes in their air awareness, she knew exactly where she was and how to get the stick.
And we were talking before the meet with bar's legend and Danny Sievers, who was the leadoff last season, handing over the reins to all these underclassmen as we move over to floor and the first team all-conference gymnast in Tori Vetter. Meanwhile, Dildy with a 9.875. Rutgers very much in this competition now.
Tori opens up with a double tuck. Nice, strong finish there.
Bringing Gabby Van Freyen. What's going through the mind of a gymnast coming off of a 9-0 like we saw?
You really want to just do your normal. You can't think about what happened before you. And Gabby, so difficult. Back handspring to an anodi. Not something we see a lot in college. But coming after a mistake, you never want to come after a mistake, but things happen. So Gabby's job right now is to do her beam routine the best of her ability. And she's doing just that. She's calm. She's taking her time.
Well, we talked to Coach Garrison this week. He mentioned just that. He emphasized how to handle the mistake. He said the next up can fix it, and that's what Van Fran's looking to do.
And an outstanding performance for veteran Tori Vetter and Gabby, getting them back on track. Really nice routine for her.
Certainly important to try to get this crowd back into it as well. Not scared of Bennett as Boomer Sooners superstar senior in Faith Torres here in the anchor spot. We'll bring in Emily Lease, another veteran on the left side.
Emily Yurchenko, 1.5. And gets the stick.
You talk about emotions.
And Faith Torres on your right, finishing up yet another great bar set for Oklahoma.
Torres has had a 9-9 or higher in every bar routine of her senior season. The 8-time All-American. More of the same, but on the other side, Emily Lease realizing that might have been her final vault run of her career. Looking to go out with a bang. As the veteran who has taken a leadership role here in the second half of this season, Delaney Rodriguez, has been an all-around competitor in every meet here in 2026 for Kentucky.
Very nice switch lead to straddle quarter.
J.J. Coleman, who had that 10 earlier this season for Ohio State on the right side.
Delaney doing great gymnastics here. Strong performance so far. Just the dismount for Delaney. Left side of your screen. And sticks the landing. You want to talk about a calm competitor. That was great.
Clutch with the 9-1-5 counted. Meanwhile, a huge score from Lease. 9-9-2-5 keeps Rutgers in the 2 spot through 2 rotations. There's our first individualist, Taylor Ingle.
Yurchenko full, slight step, at a clean vault. Last tumbling pass for JJ. Front through to double tuck. And a nice finish for Ohio State on floor, coming after Tori Vetter posting another 9-9 in this floor lineup.
Getting some love as well. We'll see Lucy Alvarado-Reed on floor in a bit, but we'll move back over to another Big Ten gymnast. And the individualist on beam, Chloe Cho. two-time All-American. Illinois, one of the first teams out. We'll bring in Leah Kamnichek, her second routine of the night.
Leah transitioning to the high bar, right back down to the low, legs glued together. Just the dismount. Tried to fight for that landing, couldn't hold on to the stick, but overall clean bar routine, while Chloe on beam is just putting on a clinic of showcasing flexibility and power and just overall grace. And sticks the dismount.
You know, only 4 all-arounds will move on to Fort Worth, but Chloe Cho is in the hunt. As Lucy Alvarado-Reed is hoping to also be in that conversation. She had a 9-9 here on floor yesterday in the opening round.
Gorgeous first pass, front 1.5 to double stag. Front layout. So fun to watch.
Well, the Chippewas to contention, 3/10 behind Rutgers, and it's Caitlin Grimes looking to kickstart this third rotation as Coach Kindler firing up the underclassmen. It's Addison Feta who will kickstart this rotation for Oklahoma. The golden standard of this sport the last decade on display here tonight as 3 teams vying for 1 spot. This is going to be 2 rotations that you not want to miss. Here's Grimes on vault.
Ohio State really bouncing back in that second rotation, taking that momentum to vault. Caitlin leading things off. Yurchenko full. Solid start, great amplitude. Coaching staff is happy.
An Ohio State team that missed the postseason a year ago. Looking to return to the regional final for the first time in 3 seasons under Coach Paul Lisovic. And you have to believe that both Ohio State and Rutgers looked up at that scoreboard at the touch.
I'll be honest, they're in different positions here. We have Rutgers and Ohio State climbing after that first rotation, where Kentucky is going to be climbing in this third.
There's Donna Eulenberg. Rutgers in a position of power in the 2 spot.
Nice fight on that cast handstand for Donna. Dismount. And that is a stuck dismount in the leadoff.
Rutgers, they started on floor, set the tone in that 2 spot at the moment. Keeping those reservations for the weekend as Feda here on beam. Entering the right side of your screen, Kentucky, their fans will try to will them back in it with Gabby Van Freyen on floor.
Addison is one of those athletes that head coach KJ Kindler had. She had to figure out where to put her in the lineup because anywhere you put her, she is going to rock that spot. And she is so strong in this leadoff, setting the tone for the beam lineup. Switch lead to split jump for Addison. Dismount gainer full. And gets the stick.
Feda, who had a 9-9 on beam in the national championships last season.
Gabby, a reliable leadoff here on floor exercise. Energy in that corral, a little low, but Kentucky can get it back. The meet is not over yet.
Brings up Jalen Pomager.
Another strong Yurchenko full.
So we head back to bars. Campbell early, their second routine of the night.
Great combination. Ginger to shoot over. Legs glued together for Campbell. Double tuck. Little close there. Fights for that finish. Combination. Ginger, arms extended right down to the low bar. Really smooth transitions.
We just talked about Faith Torres, a perfect 10 in Tulsa 2 weeks ago. Here on beam. Check that, Kira White. Kira Wells here in the 2 spot. Apologies on that. Now, Wells started off the season in the leadoff position. Down to home here in that 2 spot. Torres is in the anchor there. As Cecily Rizzo on the right side of your screen here for Kentucky.
Cecily on your right, opening front through the double tuck. Stunning finish. Back handspring double pike. Fighting for these tenths here. And Kira Wells stuck, round off 1.5 twist. Strong extension in those leaps. Cecily is showing what determination looks like. Final pass, 1.5 layout. So good from start to finish.
Gonna have to be one rotation at a time for Kentucky. They have plenty of work to do as Cameron Smith follows the 9.775 from Pomager.
Yurchenko, 1.5. First 10-0 of the vault lineup. And that was about as good as you can get. Take another look here. With straight arms. So impressive.
Ohio State feeling like they can start to make up some ground as Mattis reigns. Every Rutgers routine so important here on out.
Really clean lines. It gets the stick.
Talk about a clutch routine there as the Scarlet Knights are about 7 strong routines away from continuing their dance party as Ella Murphy flips her way onto the beam following a pair of 9.875s for OU. We'll bring in Chesney Bennett. What a return this is on that horrific fall. As Cameron Smith gets a 10 from one judge and a 9.95.
Huge opening pass for Chesney. And Ella Murphy on your left, just showing such poise. Head coach KJ Kindler said, Ella is super fun and just always smiling. But I have to maybe talk to KJ at the end. She smiles at the end of her routine, but during these routines, it is business. And there's that smile. Really strong performance.
Yeah, Bridget, I'd say that was business well done. A top 10 beam NQS score, and wait till you hear this roar when Bennett finishes this routine after getting taped up in the touch.
Last pass.
So if you're just joining us, we had the scare of all scares last rotation. Let's go back and look at the beam fall.
And into the floor lineup she goes. Head coach Tim Garrison said they have the fight. That alone, I'm getting emotional thinking about it because that is just so amazing what she just accomplished.
That gives me goosebumps. Meanwhile, Natalie Martin.
And that is another stuck Yurchenko 1.5. Daniel, we mentioned the energy was going to be high tonight. Well, it is rocking and rolling in here on all 4 events.
Ohio State with a 9.95 from Smith. We'll see what that Martin score brings in, but Rutgers is keeping pace. Reigns with a 9.85. Here's Adrian.
Really solid cast handstand work. And a strong bar performance. Delaney all night has been leading the way for this Rutgers team.
And after a 9.925 from Murphy, we bring in Peterson. She had a 9.95 on bars. A 9.85 for Bennett. Big score for Kentucky as Callie Gardner enters the right side of your screen here on floor.
Handspring layout, step out for Lily on the left side of your screen there. Side Sunny holds her finishes. Dismount, round off double twist, and gets the stick yet again for Oklahoma.
Sooners and sticks synonymous. Meanwhile, Ohio State back-to-back 9.95s. We could be in for a whale of a fourth rotation.
Front tuck, step out, double tuck. Not the finish she was going for.
And we head back to Ohio State on vault. They are hot, and this is their star and captain, Tori Vetter.
Yurchenko full. 3 in a row. Stick after stick after stick. Take another look here. Gorgeous body position. I think she surprised herself a little bit, and I have to give so much credit to Ohio State. They did not have the start of the meet that they were really wanting to see. But man, have they fought to come back, and they are doing not just good gymnastics, this is great gymnastics.
3 consecutive stuck routines on vault. And some big scores coming for Ohio State again as we get back to beam. Or Elle Miller in the 4th spot. Business as usual for Oklahoma despite all the chaos around them.
Gabrielle Dildy on the right side of your screen for Rutgers. Gabby coming after a pair of 9.85s. And another stuck routine on uneven bars.
Meanwhile, the score has come for Vetter. It is perfection, a 9.95 for the Yurchenko full from all 4 judges. Don't look now, but the Buckeyes are starting to climb.
Elle doing a really nice job staying dialed in, focusing on her finishes. She wanted that stuck landing, just a small step with that right foot.
A couple things going on at once here. Ohio State has already set a season high on vault. They then have their anchor and J.J. Coleman. Meanwhile, Kentucky needs 2 tremendous floor routines to just stay in the hunt. Bridget, how contagious are the sticks?
They are very contagious.
Coleman did not have the green flag. Now has been given the signal.
Right now, she just needs a little restart. Didn't really take off, but she was ready. J.J. Coleman coming after Tori Vetter's 9.95. Slight pike down on that landing. But this is going to end up being Ohio State's standout event in this competition.
Now it's a 9.95 start value for Coleman. And an opportunity to go 4 straight to finish out the third and pivotal rotation. We'll head back to the anchor spot. Now it's Faith Torres coming off of her perfect 10 at SEC's here on Beam.
Faith is an amazing beam worker to me because of her rhythm. You'll see every element has a start, a finish, and then it's into the next dance move. Difficulty right here, side aerial, handspring layout. A very uncharacteristic mistake. Oklahoma's first 5, very, very strong routines. Faith finishing up this routine.
Meanwhile, judges are still conferring on the floor. You see that Gardner score.
Really strong finish for Faith, but just not the routine we're used to seeing from her.
There's a look at the delay on floor. We'll head over to the anchor in Schenkel on bars. Rutgers is in the 2 spot, but Ohio State is hunting. The Buckeyes with their best vault score since 2003.
Nice cast handstand there. Front pike with a half. She wanted that stuck landing, ended up taking a small step. But Rutgers really putting on strong performances across the board so far.
We head into the individualists as Lucy on vault.
Yurchenko full twist. She was a highlight yesterday and has done equally, if not better job today.
This is very strange as we've entered the individualists on vault, but floor is yet to conclude, and now on cue. This is the penultimate gymnast here in this third rotation for the hosts in Kentucky, and Delaney Rodriguez is gonna have to pull deep into her bag of tricks.
This is where athletes, they can't get too ahead of themselves. And that's easier said than done. Trust me, I've been there. It's definitely a challenging spot to be in, but it's what makes gymnasts who they are. Judges having a little powwow.
Came after Callie Gardner's fall at the end of her floor routine as Torres comes in with a season-low 9-1. Nevertheless, Oklahoma with a 49-4-2-5 on beam. Cruising to the regional final on Sunday, but one spot. And Ohio State and Rutgers dueling for it as Ohio State with a 49.55 have taken the 2 spot by 2/10 over the Scarlet Knights.
There are 2 athletes to go for Kentucky, Delaney and Kreslin. And if there are 2 athletes that can get this team back on track and give that faith back, it's those 2 athletes.
All hands on deck there at the Judges table on the floor. We're being told it's a technical issue with their screens, and so the green flag has just come up. Here comes the captain, Delaney Rodriguez.
And Daniel, she's got a NQS average of 9.9. She needs to put up that number, if not better here. Opening pass. Front 1.5 to lay out. Gorgeous leaps, great extension there. Double tuck. Final pass. 1.5. Front half with a straddle. Strong performance for Delaney. Getting that energy back.
I'll tell you about Kreslin Brose and her unbelievable floor career, but first we head over to bars. Still have another Fighting Illini individualist in Lyden Saltness, the junior from Minnesota. She was former club mates with Suni Lee.
Opens up with a massive ray. Smooth bar swings here. Hitting that handstand. Just a dismount, double tuck. It gets the stick, fighting for the landings.
We'll see her teammate, Chloe Cho, after Kreslin Brose on floor. We'll see the scores in the bottom right. Ohio State with a historic performance on vault, leapfrogging their conference foe in Rutgers with one rotation to go. Rutgers will be on beam, Ohio State on bars. Certainly a challenge for the Scarlet Knights. Meanwhile, we enter Brose here, the two-time All-American who has had a 9.9 or higher in 32 of her 35 career routines here on this apparatus.
And Kreslin doesn't just do floor, she performs. She's gonna put on a show for us right now. Front handspring, front full, front layout. Final pass for Kreslin. So far, this has been great. End ending with an E-pass. To put into perspective, Daniel, I started with her last pass, was my opening tumbling pass. So just to show the difficulty that she does, not just in her dance and her performance aspect, but the tumbling, opening with that massive double pike. Front full, front layout. Her team likes it.
That comes after the 9-9 from Rodriguez. As we remind you, our regional finals kick off tomorrow night from Baton Rouge. 6 o'clock, leading right into the Tempe regional final. 2 teams from each region will advance to Fort Worth. With all of the action on ESPN+, we will have potentially a Big Ten team in the mix on Sunday here in Lexington, with 3 SEC teams nearly confirmed, and then Corvallis to round it out, as Chloe Cho has had to wait quite a bit for this floor routine, her 3rd routine of the night for the all-arounder. And we await Bro's score there to see where Kentucky sits with 1 rotation to go. It will be a 33rd career 9-9 or higher for Bros.
Kreslin with that 9.925. Strong performances all around.
Cho is top 10 in the nation in all around, just behind Delaney Rodriguez, who we just saw.
Chloe opens up, tuck full in. Gorgeous leaps. 180 split. Final pass here. Front tuck, step out to double tuck. She might have waited a long time, but you would have never known. Really solid performance there from the individual competing here.
Rotation 3 will never be forgotten for Ohio State. Let's go ahead and relive it. A great combination of Yurchenko 1.5s and fulls.
And just putting on great routines here, but it's the stuck landings that stood out to me, because they were not just happening by chance. These were fights, every single one.
And we are now on with head coach Meredith Paulus, both with 9.95s on bars. That's where Ohio State will look to clinch their spot into the regional finals, but it will not be easy. The Buckeyes, 29th in the country on bars. However, this is a tough apparatus for Rutgers, who needs to put together a tremendous beam run to keep their season going, as Kentucky may need a couple 10s to get a hunt in for the Wildcats here at home. We have 1 rotation to go and a few more individualists. Sky is the limit for some of these individual qualifiers, who will await the Corvallis region to find out if they continue competing, as Addison Hofseth kicks us off on vault. Oh, pardon me, still warm-ups. Keeping everybody honest. And about 10 seconds to go to wrap up this warm-up session. 2/10 back if you're Rutgers. You've watched enough gymnastics. Where are you kind of looking if you're a Scarlet Knights fan? What do you need to happen? What are you looking to try to party together here with the combination of Young and then Dildy to finish?
Well, with Rutgers ending on balance beam, it's the hardest event in gymnastics. It's 4 inches wide, but they had a lights-out performance yesterday. Balance beam, one of the highlights of their whole competition. They have the talent, and I really think gymnastics is just one of those sports you can't count anybody out. That's the beauty of the talent within the NCAA.
Delaney Adrian getting some words of advice from the former Rutgers standout in Anastasia Candia. And now Addison Hofseth is ready. Kentucky 6:75 behind.
Addison leading off here. Yurchenko full. Gonna need to see some stuck landings, but great body position throughout that vault. 9.95 start value.
Well, we introduce Ohio State here in this final rotation. Their NQS score on bar is 48.95. That may be good enough. Jalen Pomager.
Slight mistake there. Went to go over the bar, but gets it back. Just needs to be cool and confident in this final line change. Full pirouette, double tuck. A great stuck landing. Biggest mistake there, she went to go on that half pirouette, didn't quite make it over, but really got her rhythm back quickly and was able to finish the routine strong.
It is effectively a 2-team race here for that second spot between Ohio State and Rutgers as Delaney Adrian leads off. Meanwhile, in our 2 box on the right, standout freshman Ella Murphy.
Delaney Acro series, handspring layout, step out. Delaney being a reliable leadoff yet again today. 2 consecutive beam lineups. All she has is the dismount. Double twist and sticks it. Beautiful extension for Ella. Oklahoma sets the standard, but one thing that they just live up to the hype is their technique is nearly perfect, from their big skills to the leaps.
A look at Rizzo's all-around numbers following a 9.8 from Hofseth.
Big Yurchenko full. Wanted that stuck landing.
Ohio State with just a 9.7 from Pomager. Sadie Jane Berry, her first event of this regional.
Really good fight there. But just can't hang on.
So there's a pair of event specialists here on bars. Let's take another look at the fall.
just can't get her hands around the bar. She was going for a Maloney, which is a toe on, and then you release, float to the high bar, but you have to have that power, and she just couldn't get it back. An unfortunate mistake going into this fourth rotation. So the pressure is on for the remaining lineup.
Meanwhile, you're still awaiting Adrian's score, as Mattis Reigns has not been given the green light yet. Rutgers' season high on beam is just a 49.05. If they are going to advance to Sunday's final, you have to imagine that's got to be closer to 49.1 or 2. But it all depends on what Ohio State can do here on bars following the fall. And a 9-9 there from Murphy, as Adrian does pick up a strong score, 9.825 on leadoff here on balance beam. Music pauses to start the floor routine for Addison Feda. But the attention is certainly on Reigns. Clutch performance.
Slight balance check for Mattis. You saw that flag go up on your right side. Addison going outside of the white lines. Dismount. Gainer full off the side, fights through that routine. A mistake on that combination pass into her 2.5. Just had a little too much rotation, did step out of bounds.
We get back to vaults. Callie Gardner gonna finish strong.
Drop pike with a half. Small shuffle with her feet.
See the Ohio State score to leave out from Sadie Jane Berry. 8.45. Mason Rader, the pressure on her shoulders. 9.75 in the Big Ten championships. Reigns only with a 9.65. This is going to be tight.
Maloney pack, little leg separation. Ohio State currently ranked 29th on bars. Dismount. Fights to get the stick, but that shoulder dip is going to be a deduction. Sometimes these athletes fight so hard for the stick, and is it worth it to take the step, or is it worth it to dip your shoulders? Only the judges could tell you.
The pressure continues. Each routine more important than the last. The freshman Vivian Larson had a 9.7 here yesterday. Bring in Lily Peterson on the right. Peterson did not compete in SECs here on floor.
Opening pass for Lily, front double twist. Vivian on your left. Another hit routine. One and a half step out to double twist. Talking to head coach KJ Kindler earlier in the season, this is a fairly young team for her. Not something that they're used to having, but they have been so fun to coach and see the growth the entire season. And I'll have to remind KJ that her athletes compete like veterans. And a hit routine for Lily Peterson, coming after Addison Theta, 9.75.
Ryan Noonan now in the 4 spot, back-to-back 9.825s for Kentucky, but it's going to be too little too late.
And a great vault for Ryan.
To the 4th gymnast in Tori Vetter, who had that perfect Yurchenko full-on vault. Big score here could help seal it for the Buckeyes.
Huge amplitude on that Tkachev. Little short there on that cast handstand. Want to show the judges right on top of the bar, but solidifies that routine with a stuck dismount.
At this exact moment, Ohio State leads by 1/10. Of course, so much still to come, including Keely Smith's beam routine. As Peterson, another 9-9 for Oklahoma. Bring in Kira Wells on the right side of your screen.
Triple series for Keely on the left. Rutgers ending on the hardest event, but making it look so easy. Nice and tall on that combination. Switch leap, switch leap. And a stuck dismount for Rutgers.
That'll keep things quite interesting coming into the final stretch.
One and a half layout for Kira. Another successful routine for Oklahoma on floor.
Sooners coasting as Delaney Rodriguez. This might be emotional as well of a finish.
Yurchenko 1.5 and just can't stand it up.
Now the pressure ratchets up. 2 more gymnasts for Ohio State and Rutgers. 1 spot up for grabs. It's Ava Jackson here on bars.
Van Leeuwen to the high bar, able to get it back. And slight shuffle on that double layout, but strong performances on uneven bars.
And almost simultaneously, Bridget, a pair of 9-8s come on the board. 9-8 for Vetter, 9-8-2-5 for Smith. At the moment, Ohio State leads by 0.07 of a point. One gymnast left for Ohio State. 2 left for Rutgers, including their senior leader, waiting to mount the toughest apparatus in the sport, Rachel Riley. And then it's Gabby Dildy and JJ Coleman, a showdown here in Lexington. While we wait for that, Kira Wells with a 9.875. Sets the stage for Elle Miller.
Opens up with a front through to double tuck.
Meanwhile, a 9.8 for Ava Jackson there for Ohio State. Rachel Riley on the left side.
Rachel Riley on your left, acro series, no deductions there. And I might have jinxed her on that one. Unfortunate mistake.
With that fall, Ohio State in prime position.
Rachel finishing this routine to the best of her abilities here. Dismount. And a stuck 1.5.
JJ Coleman, who was so clutch, anchoring vault, with the opportunity to send Ohio State into the regional finals on Sunday.
Jaeger down to the low bar. All she needs to do is land this dismount on her feet. I'll do one better, I'll stick it. Incredible work.
The Buckeyes are still dancing despite falls in rotation 1 and 2 and 4, Ohio State.
Great release, Pike Jaeger down to the low bar, such a smooth transition.
And the anchor for Kentucky is Anna Flynn Cashin.
Front pike with a half, big vault, big amplitude.
We are about to show you a display on floor that is must-watch television as Mackenzie Eastep anchors for the defending champs. Won a conference title here on floor in the SECs.
Front layout, front double twist, stays in bounds.
Gabby Dildy on the left, finishing out this meet for Rutgers. They were so close.
Front toss to back handspring, very nice.
There's the score for Coleman that seals it for Ohio State.
Two and a half for Mackenzie. A little short there. Another great routine for Oklahoma. Mackenzie coming after L's 9-9. And Gabrielle Dildy dismount. She has had a remarkable 48 hours.
And a look at the coaching staff for Ohio State celebrating 3 years since their last regional final. We'll get to the all-around individualist here on bars in Lucy Alvarado-Reed.
So good so far. Double tuck. What a great night for Lucy. Such a strong performance yesterday, coming in today without having her team on the floor.
Meanwhile, on vaults, Chloe Cho.
Yurchenko full.
Oklahoma with a 197.875. Ohio State, the 196.55 will be enough. And the final score has sunk in for the corral in the corner. The kids from Columbus will be here through the weekend. Despite falls in 3 of the 4 rotations, Ohio State perseveres. And another Big Ten gymnast here will close out our meet in Summer Clancy from Illinois.
Gorgeous side aerial for Summer. Final competitor here tonight. Gearing up for her acro. Back handspring layout, step out. Very smooth, very confident up on balance beam. Little balance check there, gets it back. And a stuck 1.5. Great beam routine. Summer Clancy with Illinois.
Oklahoma. Feels like a foregone conclusion since the second rotation. They are moving on. 3 SEC teams and 1 Big Ten team. Sunday in the regional final, Tori Vetter, the captain. The emotions for Coach Paulicevic. The best vault score since 2003.